So what's up, y'all? It's Buu E Radley. I think today we're gonna talk about the marketing cycle of an album, or should I say, the life of an album. So, uh, it's a long process, it's a lot of work, but stick it out every step of the way, and then before you know it, you've got a product on your hands. So, uh, what makes up an album? Enough songs that can qualify as an album. So they do it based on number of tracks and or runtime. So you've got EPs and you've got LPs. An EP is an extended play. A LP is a long play. I think EPs are anywhere from I think it's more than 3 songs, less than like 20 something odd minutes, something like that. Y'all can Google the terms and figure out for yourself what's an EP, what's an LP, and what differentiates the two. But me personally, I believe for album talk, you really there seems to be a sweet spot within some of the great albums of all time. Anywhere from 40 minutes to like an hour and some change. You don't want it to be too short, or else, I mean, unless you're cool with it being an EP, and you don't want it to be too long. Like me personally, I'm not a fan of double albums. I think that double albums are that's just too much music for one setting, like for one sitting. Who wants to be listening to a piece of music for 2 hours? Most, especially these days, where the attention span has drastically decreased from back in the day. People barely want to sit through an EP these days. You know, something that's 30 minutes long, let alone something that's 2 hours long. You know, now me personally, I'm a big music guy, so I don't mind it. I'll sit through it. But I know a lot of people, they're a little antsy these days, especially the younger generation, where everything's microwave speed for them. You know, don't want to wait for their favorite artist's next project to come out. Don't want to sit through an album. They just want to listen, and that's another reason why they say it's a singles-driven market these days. Is because albums are becoming, as much as I hate to admit it and I hate to accept it, albums appear to be becoming less and less relevant as back in the day. I mean, they're still important on a large scale, on a big scale level. Like when you talk about some, when you get into that, who's the best artist of an era or the best artist of all time talk, then yeah, we're gonna bring in okay, body of work, catalog, albums, you know. But for the average artist and under, it's all about what's your hottest song you got. Let me put your song in the playlist. They don't want to really listen to the album; they want to listen to the song. And if the song is fire and you got enough fire songs, then they might check out your albums. That seems to be the vibes I'm getting these days. But anyways, to get to an album, you gotta get to several songs. How do you get a song? Well, unless you're about to be an acapella artist and all your songs ain't none of them got no beat on them, you just rapping on them or singing on them. Which, mind you, I wouldn't advise because ain't nobody trying to hear that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. You got to get a beat. So how do you secure a beat? You can buy a beat. You can lease a beat, or you can buy a beat out exclusively. Exclusive right beats tend to be, well, they are more expensive. Shoot, beats can range depending on the level of the producer, like how famous they are, how much clientele they got, and the demand on their beats. An exclusive rights beat can range anywhere from like $150 upwards to thousands of dollars. We're talking about like a big level, producer. Like the producers that are on who are coming off of a hot streak with an artist that just broke through and became a big name, or a producer who's worked with some legends in the game, big names, artists in the game. They might charge upwards tens of thousands of dollars for a beat, something like that. But on average, exclusive rights, and what that means by exclusive is there are no limitations. You don't have to repay the producer once a certain stream count is met. Like with a lease. With the lease, what they do, what these producers are doing with these lease beats are, they are they're leasing the beat to a whole bunch of rappers. Like if it's a hot beat, then everybody wants to jump on it, but ain't nobody got the money that they're willing to spend to buy it out exclusively, so that they're the only artist on the beat. A bunch of people jump on the beat at a discounted price, and then if it streams so many, like if let's say if there's a 20,000 stream count on there, then you have to pay more money to, stream it another, say 20,000 times or whatever. And then it can only be on one or two radio stations. You can only make one music video to it. There's restrictions on it to make it where it's more of an incentive for you to buy the exclusive rights, because you'll have the ultimate freedom with that beat. So you can lease a beat, or you can buy a beat out exclusively. You lease a beat, you're probably not going to be the only person rapping on that beat. There's going to be some other guys who probably got a song on that same beat. Or you buy it out exclusively, and then you have more control as to what you can do with the music you make using that beat. And then you don't have other people, a whole bunch of other people potentially rapping on your or singing on your beat. Plus you can make more money with the beat with licensing, sync licensing, which is if your song gets placed in a commercial or used on a TV show or in a movie, stuff like that. Or if someone wants to sample the music, then you can work out how you get money off samples. You can work that out too. So you can lease a beat, or you can buy a beat out exclusively to obtain a beat to rap on. Also, if you want to save some money on acquiring a beat, you can work out splits, a split deal with the producer. Say maybe I'll only pay X amount of dollars, and then I'll kick the producer in on the back end. Streaming proceeds. I'll cut them in on streaming proceeds in order to get a lower price to acquire the beat, either exclusively or on the lease, whatever you decide to negotiate and work out with the producer. Right? So, okay. You figured out how you're going to acquire up all your beats. You acquired up all your beats. Now you got to write. You got to write all these songs. Verse, chorus, woo, woo, woo. Unless you're going to be one of these fake rappers, real hip-hop, we believe in you got to write your own shit. We don't believe in, I got a team of writers, or I'm going to pay this dude to write my verse for me, or, I got a ghostwriter. Me personally, I don't respect none of that shit. If you ain't writing it your damn self, and it's a gray area and a little bit of leeway room for choruses and hooks, I guess. The verses are definitely, you got to write your own verse. Me personally, I feel as if you should really be writing your own shit. Me personally. I wouldn't crucify completely an artist who didn't write their own choruses or hooks. Because that's more so. But I just don't understand. Like, if you can write a 16-bar verse, why can't you write a 4 to 8-bar hook or chorus? You know what I mean? I don't be understanding. So anyway, you gotta write all the songs. Writing a song is free. Listen to the beat, and what do you want to say on it? Write down what you want to say on it. Write the words out. So you done wrote up all the song lyrics. Now you got to get this stuff recorded. Several ways you can go about recording your music. You can You can record it yourself or have a friend record it in the basement or in the bathroom or something like that. But the song quality may or may not be good depending on the aptitude of whoever is recording you and their skill level. Or you can go to a recording studio and have a professional engineer record you, which is going to cost some money. Uh, my experience is that these engineers get paid by the hour. So you pay by the hour that you'll be in the studio utilizing their services. So, recording costs. Cost money to record your music and to get it mixed and mastered. For you don't want to put out a crappy sounding product. Nobody wants to listen to poor quality, is what we're told. So, recording costs. So, and it's going to cost some money because, if you've got, say, 10 to 15-ish songs on your album or however many songs you got, it takes about, and different artists move at different speeds. And then depending on how complex the song is that you've written, if it's literally just verse, hook slash chorus, verse, hook slash chorus, I mean, if you lay a hook or a chorus, typically you can copy and paste that same hook or chorus that you laid, boop, boop, boop. So you only got to lay it once and then just lay your verses down. And the song is about 2 to 3 verses typically. But then you have to deliver the vocals effectively to your desire. If not, then you got to keep redoing them. Then you got to do your ins and outs, which is where at the end of like a line of lyrics, like at the end of a bar, you say, the word or the couple words again because as you're rapping, I don't know too much about singers. I ain't no singer for real. The last word or words in your bar the enunciation tends not to be clear as you say it and then you're getting ready to go into the next bar of lyrics. So you got to enunciate that, and that's called the in and out when you do that at the end of the bar. Then your ad libs, that's when rappers get hyped like, what? Or, ha, ha, different little stuff. Just different little noises that rappers be making to hype up the verse. So it ain't just a plain verse. There's some, some hypeness, some crunkness, or maybe some suaveness and some smoothness to it, stuff like that. So a song could take anywhere from, say, 20 minutes to like an hour and some change. It just depends on how many layers to the song there are, how complicated of a song, how intricate and how textual the song is. If it's just a basic song, not too much going on, it shouldn't take that long, provided that you lay your vocals down effectively to your desire. But if it's a whole lot going on, there's a bunch of vocal tracks, bunch of layers, then yeah, it'll take longer to do. Due to having to lay all of that stuff down and then also laying it down correctly to what sounds the best. So that's gonna cost a good amount of money. And then mixing and mastering it all, that's probably about 30 minutes to an hour per song as well. And once again, depending on how many layers to the song there are, that would increase the time that takes to mix and master the song. And then, of course, you don't want to just lay it down one time and be done with it. Go home, listen to it a whole bunch of times to see where are areas you can improve, if you want to change anything. It's a process. You're not going to make an album overnight. You're not going to make one overnight. So you got it all recorded. You might think, okay, I got an album now. Not quite. Pump the brakes. Skirt, skirt. You still gotta. Most albums come with a music video, so now you've got to hire a videographer to shoot your video for you. Not just that, you got to come up with a location to shoot the video. You've got to come up with what's the concept of the video, all the shots that we're gonna need. Then, who all's gonna be in the video, or is it just gonna be you? Get all that shot. Now you got to pay the videographer. Now you got to wait for them to get the footage back to you in a satisfactory form. Does the video check out? Is this how you imagined it looking? Do you need any edits? I think videographers, they typically give you a couple edits, and after that they want to charge you some more money again. So that's another thing to consider. Cover arts, you're going to need cover arts to promote singles, along with videos if you're going to use videos to promote singles. So now you've got a finished product of music. You've got music videos. You've got cover arts for the singles. Oh, also cover art for the album itself. Now, you still need a marketing budget. You think you just going, you thought you was just going to drop this music and people were just going to find it on the internet, the World Wide Web? No. You've got to send advertisements out and you got to send people to that stuff. You're not just going to just stumble upon it. You got to run advertising campaigns and pay to get your product in front of people. Now you see why television has commercials. Now you see why radio has commercials. Now you see why you have unskippable ads on YouTube. And for the free Spotify accounts, unskippable ads on Spotify. Now you see why when you're scrolling on the internet, you've got these ads posted on the side, these display ads. Wherever the people are, that's where the money is. And if you're on the internet, you should either be trying to make money or spend money. Or get off the internet. Or just utilize the products and services that's on there. Utilize the internet just to have fun on the internet, social media, YouTube, reading articles, whatever you do on the internet. But just know that wherever people are grouped in masses on the internet, eventually the advertisers are going to work their way over there because there's money to spend to promote their brands, products, and services. And for the websites themselves or the apps or whatever, there's money to be made by charging these advertisers for access to the user base to market and promote their products, services, and their brands. So, I acquired beats for my album, Mustard Seed. I wrote up all the lyrics to my album. Oh, and then if you got artists you want to feature on your album, you got to grab up them and orchestrate with them their schedules so you can get them on songs and stuff. And sometimes if it's you might have to pay an artist for a feature. Now that's a whole nother topic to discuss, is features and all that. Yeah, that's a whole nother wealth of discussion and things I've seen on the internet about featuring with artists. So I'll say that for another day. Maybe I won't even tackle it because that's. Maybe I'll just leave that one alone. But anyway, feature artists. So, got all the beats for the album. I wrote all the lyrics to the album. Got everything recorded, mixed and mastered to the best of my ability. Got videos. Then I ran advertisements to bring traffic to all of this stuff. And I'm still running advertisements after post-release to bring eyes to this stuff, eyes and ears to this stuff. It appears to be a never-ending music cycle. The beauty of it is once you've got a musical product, it ages over time, but there's always someone who hasn't heard it before. There's always a new person that you can put onto the music, and you kind of start the marketing cycle all over, if you will. You've got the pre-build up, where you build up anticipation for your product in the form of singles and marketing those singles to get people ready for an album. Then the album drops, and now you're trying to bring, a whole bunch of people all at once to the album. Once the album is dropped, and it's kind of in that cool down phase, you just continuously bring people to it as you get ready to do it all over again with the next album, like I'm currently getting ready to gear up for. So it's a never ending cycle. But I guess to the best of my ability and the easiest way possible, that's the life of an album, the cycle of an album. Once it's released, it can always be promoted. Eventually, you would think that you hit everybody on the internet, at least within the country, because I only focus on the country. I don't really market outside the country because I know I'm not really trying to go outside the country to sell my products and to do shows at this point. So it's like, might as well just focus on the places I'm willing to physically go. I'm sure there are some naysayers to that school of thought, but that's where I'm at with it right now. So yep, made the album, promoted it all throughout, still promoting it. I'm gonna keep promoting it, and then once I'm ready to start dropping the new music, it's all over again. It's just cycle all over again with the next one. So we'll see how it goes, but yep, the life cycle, I guess, of the life cycle of an album with Buu E. Peace.